Hi folks, Michael Robinson here with michaelrobinsonart.com, and welcome to another episode of Behind the Art. Today I want to be talking to you a little bit about one of my originals called Rug Burns, and this is really a fun piece. I do a lot of allusions, and this one is an allusion to that famous comedy, The Big Lebowski. Rug Burns, I'll tell you about that in a second. Obviously there's a little bit of a romantic overtone to the term rug burns. So let's get started with this right here. As you can see, here, let me get this a little closer for you guys. Obviously right here, we have a rug. This is a really cool multi-dimensional rug. I really had a lot of fun with these colors and how they all kind of flow together. When I mentioned earlier, there's a little bit of a romantic overtone. That's actually a picture of my wife taken several years back in Cancun. So what I did was I Warholized that photo, and then I made this a multimedia thing by doing a collage, a gluing right here, and then I gave it a frame so it would be framed. And I'm kind of getting to this cross right here, this juxtaposition of this, obviously a woman in a very sexually suggestive pose, and then right here we have the cross. And so I was kind of thinking about, you know, my wife's Catholic, half Italian. I was kind of thinking of that interesting juxtaposition there of being a classic good girl, but also having a Eurosexual being, right? When I talked earlier about the reference to Big Lebowski, over and over again, they're talking about how the rug really pulled everything together. In the movie, they take away his rug, and there's this battle about getting the rug back and all that kind of stuff. And I was kind of looking at this here to say being nighttime. And then with the decor here, it's pretty simple. The guy didn't have much in his furniture. Originally, I was going to have all kinds of stuff going on, but I talk about this from time to time. I practice what I call the art of subtraction. You know, what can I take out and still make a great statement with this piece? I kind of wanted to give it here's the quote I was talking about before. Dude, that rug really ties the room together. Tied the room together. And that's being said over and over and over again when they talk about the rug that they're trying to get back. The guitar over here, it's huge for a reason. I was given the sense of the mid-50s kind of cubist, you know, bongos, jazz, you know, East Village in the 50s. I'm a big jazz fan, so that 50s to 60s jazz scene in New York. But also, more importantly, I'm a former guitar player. I played guitar all over the state of California, toured everywhere, recorded 5 albums. I got to be a pretty good lead guitarist, and my last band was a Roadhouse Blues and Roots Rock project. So that's why it's so big. And I also kind of like to give it this sort of, it's like a little bit of a modern surrealism sense that like the guitar is way out of proportion to the rest of the piece. And we're given this kind of an ethereal thing. This is almost like a red sunset. Again, I was going to give this a hard interior look, and I just decided to make it much more amorphous so that when people come up, they can come up with their own, project their own ideas onto it. That's a big part of what art is anyway. And so that's pretty much it, except I did want to talk about one more aspect of this painting here. I like how these goldfish are just kind of like in this thing, and it's kind of like a single guy. All he can handle is a goldfish. He can't take care of a dog or a cat or have a steady girlfriend. This guy's life is a mess. So that was kind of there, and I like this. It's sort of like hearkening back to love and hope. It's as though it's just like the only piece of furniture in the room. All it's got is a rug and this little piece of furniture, and then there's like a little flower pot down here, and this flower is mixed message because, you know, flowers represent hope and rebirth and life and vitality, but this one could use a little attention. The guy hasn't watered it much lately. Anyway, that is the story behind Rug Burns. When people come and see it live, they really, really enjoy it, and that's a very gratifying feeling. And they get bemused. They find that quote from The Big Lebowski is actually designed to be very humorous. I put a lot of allusions into my art. I like to do different cultural references, and since The Big Lebowski is a longtime favorite for my wife and I, it just seemed like a natural thing to do. Anyway, that's the story behind the art for my original, which is called Rug Burns. I'm Michael Robinson with michaelrobinsonart.com. Hey, thanks again for joining me. Take care. Bye-bye.